Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What's poppin', man? I am who I am. My name is my name. And welcome into episode 62 of Shooting the Shit with Sands. How are we doing today, man? I got the mic back. I don't think I have any buzzing in the background now because I got a new cord for it. It feels amazing. Oh, God. How are y'all doing, man? Just off a workout. Feeling good, feeling great. The weight is not coming off like I want it to, but also what I've done in these workouts is done actual strength. I've actually lifted some weights, and I've done a lot of more of push-up, what they call it calisthenics, right? That's what they call it, calisthenics. And yeah, it's just been a good time working out, trying to get healthier, shit like that, trying to lose some weight before I go on this trip with the homies. You know, it's so weird. I'd rather look good for the homies than anybody else. Pretty weird. But, other than that, how we doing, man? Fantasy football season's coming up. Once again, when it comes to this content game, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be killing. I'm getting a new apartment in a month. The setup will be totally different. I'll have neon lights. I'll have a sports backdrop. Basically, we're going to get a 2-bedroom, but I can save like $300 a month, which doesn't seem like a lot to some people out there. For the common man, that's a decent amount of money, bro. That's my car insurance and the electricity and the internet, shit like that, But the cool thing with this apartment is it has this quote-unquote dining room / office space, right? So it's like a little nook in the corner, but it's kind of big. It's like a little bedroom. It's actually really cool. It's got a wall on it. It's all blocked off and shit. It's pretty fucking cool. I'm going to get a green screen. It's on the way. I'm getting all this different shit, okay? So in about a month, this podcast is going to take it to a new level. Another update on this podcast. I was doing it at the beginning of my channel sometimes, but I have to start doing it more. I know it's hard to keep your attention because you don't know what I'm talking about, right? It's hard for me to keep your attention for an hour on one video, but the way I'm going to do this is what I should have been doing all along. I'm going to take my podcast, cut it up into little bits and pieces, post it on the channel in separate videos so you can give me feedback on those as well. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pay a dude on Fiverr to make me a logo, all this shit, right? We're going to just go balls to the wall with this shit. I did not record on Sunday. I got fucking caught up with work. Shit happens, bro. It happens, all right? It happens. But how are we doing, man? I am who I am. My name is my name, and welcome into episode 62 of Shooting the Shit with Sands. I don't even know if I said it. I may have said it again. I zoned out while I was ranting. How are y'all doing? Are y'all enjoying these conference finals? Are you? Told y'all to watch out for the Suns in the beginning of the playoffs, or actually in like the middle of the season. I told you to watch out for them. Did I think they'd beat the Lakers? No, of course not. They weren't healthy though, so obviously the Suns won the series. Also, watch out for this cord. As you can see, I got the mic back, right? And if this cord falls out, it falls out. Fuck it. I'm just gonna have to restart where I started from, right? Gonna have to go back to where I started from. So, in these conference finals, it's pretty interesting. How dominant these teams have been. And you can say, well, the Suns have had close games. To me, they're obviously the better team. I'll get into it. We're going to get into both series. We're going to talk about Dame time. Bro, I just can't wait for fantasy football. This year I'm taking a different approach. You see, with fantasy football, doing homework to me isn't really like, you don't have to do homework with fantasy football. In a sense that you don't have to deep dive into these random numbers. It's like you go look at targets, you go look at catches, you go look at off-season acquisitions and see if they added another main guy to their roster or not. And then you go from there. Most of this shit, mostly in 12-man leagues, is being the fucking clown. Most of the people are clowns in my league. Maybe I'm the clown for not doing it. It's just not my swag, bro. My swag is not being up till 2 a.m. and getting waivers when they pass at 3:30 a.m. in week 1. Like, bro, I just drafted a team, and every time anybody drafts, they think their team can win it. I don't care what you say, right? So me having that mentality just like everybody else, right? Everybody else has the same mentality I do. But these motherfuckers go on the waiver in week 2, scoop up everybody that's a handcuff of a handcuff of a handcuff. They got 2 tight ends. They got 7 running backs. You know what I was actually going to do? I swear to God, I may do it on draft day. Now, this is my thing. I'm going to have fun this year, right? I'm going to have much more fun on fantasy football, okay? This fantasy shit takes years off your life. Am I saying I'm not going to be competitive? Absolutely not. That's stupid to say. I'm not going to say I don't care. I'm not going to say I'm not going to be competitive at it and I want to win it, of course. When you get in a group and all with all the friends and shit, the thing that I laid off this year was the shit talk. Because, like, no offense, I'm not going to give it the time of day. Because you know what happens is, that's why I don't shit talk anymore, because how my seasons have gone in the past. This past year. I'll go look up the stats and post them right on this fucking video. Right now, I'll go look at it. I think through week 6 or 7, I was top 3 in points for, maybe even top 2. You get 1 injury. Your team is done. Now you're like, well, you don't have any depth. What? Where's your depth? Will you shut the fuck up, bro? I drafted like 7 running backs, right? Oh, back to my original point. You know what I was going to do this year just to troll people? And they would actually get mad. I know they would, and they'd be like, why are you doing this, bro? If you're not going to care, you're going to get kicked out of the league, and all this salty shit they do. All this, they tell me I take it personal, but when I do some troll shit, they get mad. How ironic, right? How fucking ironic. Hunter, you take everything so personal. You fucking crybaby. Sensitive signs, huh? And then when I go into this draft, in my first 7 picks are all running backs, I was literally going to do that. I was literally going to go round 1 RB, round 2 RB, round 3 RB. If Patty Mahomes was there, I was going to take him round 4 RB, round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8. And you would go, why the fuck would you do that? 1, to troll. That is obviously the main reason I would do it, okay? That is obviously the main reason I would do it. Secondly, it would just be fun. Because guess who they'd have to trade with during the trade deadline? Guess whose phone they'd have to call? The guy who declines all trade calls no matter what. I could be fucking 2-6, 2-5. I'm not doing a trade. Just not what I do. I did it last year. Dude, I'm about to go on another fantasy rant, and we're just going to go. I don't care. This happens every year in this fantasy league. And mostly, I'll call him out. I don't give a fuck. Chris does it every year. He says he talks to everybody, right? But if I got to see his recent text messages and trade rumors, right? Let's say there was a rumor mill in the fantasy league. It would be with every team that is in the bottom 3 of each division. It would be it every single time. He tries to take advantage. Nobody said anything about that Keenan Allen trade for Darrell Henderson last year. Fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. At least give us some time to think about it. Let people get their points out. But me, I'm about to start copying and pasting my point for somebody else to say it. Because everybody thinks I'm being salty about a trade when all I see is the top teams getting better and the poor getting poorer. I see it every fucking year, so I took advantage. I gave him 3 live warm bodies. He had no warm bodies on his whole fucking team. I gave him 3 live bodies for Adam Thielen. Those guys ended up scoring like 4 points a week, and I was getting 20 out of Thielen. Then he got COVID. People forget he got COVID. He got fucking COVID, bro. It was a joke last year. I had the injury bug last 2 years. I ain't worried about it, though. At the end of the day, there are certain people who take pride in fantasy, right? I don't. I know what I'm doing, and at the end of the draft, you will never look at my team and say it's trash. Now, you could be like, oh, you can say about every team because you don't know preseason. That's not true. In a 12-man, you're going to know whose fucking team is trash, and that's why 12-mans are low-key trash. Now, do I want to be in a league where everybody's putting up 150? Maybe not. But I tell you what, I don't also want to be in this league where I'm going to the waiver wire in week 4, and all there is IRs, outs, a hurt hamstring, a Q, a third-string wide receiver who suddenly gets bumped up. Like, what are we doing? You know? It's just that you can sit here and say all this shit. I guess during the second week of the season, I got to go change out guys who I just drafted. I just drafted them, and why? Did I guess on them? I don't think so. Are they a handcuff to somebody? Probably. Why would I get rid of them to get a dude for 1 week who goes for 7 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown? Why would you do that? And then people think they're good because they get that guy, and then his starter gets hurt in week 7. So they see her with 6 weeks with this guy, 0, goose, goose, goose. This is why you get him, Hunter. This is why you get him, goose, goose. And then he starts and he gets 11, 12, 22. Bro, I'm so get fancy. Dude, you just so calculated. So fuck calculated, dude. You couldn't do that. It's called a fantasy draft. It's not called fantasy transaction, pray, and fucking hope. It's not what the fuck it's called. It's called a fantasy draft. That's what makes me sick. Just call it what is called a fantasy football league. All I'm saying is, just fantasy football in general is full of bullshit. It's about, people really don't like to say it's a lot about luck, right? They don't want to say that. They don't want to say it's 100% about luck. It's about health and all that, and you can say, well, I predict unhealthy, so I draft deep. Well, most of the time, if your starters are out, you ain't doing good, man, right? So if you don't draft well with your starters, then you're not going to be good, and your starters are what? Your first, 8 picks? Then a defense? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? That's just a little fantasy football rant. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just sit here in these mocks and I'm like, the reason I can't mock is because I got fucking 11 tryhards in my fucking league. I got 11 people who know what they're kind of doing. Now, did Weaver? I mean, there's one guy that didn't, Hess's brother-in-law. Did Weaver know what he was doing? I don't know. But he was taking advice from Hoss. He should have been dog shit. Right? So if he's taking advice from Hoss, while Hoss is tapping Chris on the leg, asking him who he should draft, you know, I don't know. These are just thoughts I have. I mean, Hoss just sits. I have a reserved seat by Chris. Hey man, what do you think right here? Right, this is good value, right? Hey, this is good. This is good value, right? Is this good value for this guy? Hey, buddy. Hey. This is good value for this guy right here, right? Right, Chris? Chris can say he tells him to fuck off, but you're going to let something slip. I mean, he traded Dalvin Cook for Jonathan Taylor and Julian Edelman. Do I need to go down that road again? Do I need to go? All I'm saying is, this year, man, I can't control what other people do. Might as well not veto a trade for the whole year because they don't get vetoed. You know why? Because people aren't as self-aware as me, okay? They're not. I'm sorry. When I look at my team last year, I go, I'm one injury away from being fucked. A lot of other people don't do that. So when they see a trade, they go, I can win the title regardless, dude. Fuck it. No, you can't, bro. You've been 6-6 every year since we started, okay? At least I've made it to a championship. And I made playoffs every year except for 2 years I got the injury bug. 2. So it's like, it is what it is. That's just a fantasy football rant. That's all I got for you on fantasy football. But it's coming. It's going to be fun. I'm wearing the Buccaneers shit, man. And we're coming, man. We're fucking coming. Got AB back. We got everybody back, man. And AB wasn't considered a starter. But here we are. I'm just ready. Ready for the trip. Ready for The whole shit to start, man. It's going to be a fun time, man. Football season is always fun. But why do y'all come here? Y'all come here for the expertise in basketball, okay? And I do know football. I kind of shit on myself with football. I do know my shit in football. Once again, do I know the backup left guard on the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars? No, I don't. But I can tell you who's out there, who's running what they're doing, what their flaws are, what they're good at, who's good, who's bad, and how to not draft a fantasy team as in with logic. You don't draft with logic. You don't. You guess, you pray, and you get trade bait. That's all you do. I've been going for 15 minutes on fantasy football. I could go for an hour about fantasy football. About how it's literally just, if I draft 8 running backs, I'm going to have 4 people knocking at the door. Y'all give you a starting receiver for your RB6. Okay. Or they're going to be, this is what this arrogant ass league will do. Oh, I'm going on one. This arrogant ass league that I'm in will sit there and be like, oh, we're going to let Hunter burn. Hunter's got 8 running backs, no receivers. We'll just let him die out. And then the playoffs become, you see one guy. You see Moody and Chris. I mean, Chris really has never had a dominant regular season, which is why he trades a lot. You get what I'm saying? He's never really had just an utter dominant regular season. Then he sees Taji. Oh, your borderline playoff team? Let me give you a boost, dude. All air quotes if you're listening on Spotify. Boost. Let me give you a boost. Yeah, there's your boost, bro. Take Darrell Henderson and run with it. I'll get Keenan and get 35 a week in a standard. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's just, the deer is wounded and downed. All right? In this case, you let it suffer. You let it suffer defeat, but nobody in the fucking league wants to do it. They all love Chris. I love him too. But goddamn, you got to put feelings aside when it comes to this trading shit. And now I look like the person that gets emotional during fantasy football, don't I? Oh, that league is so corrupt. It really sickens me. Like, I'm not even making jokes anymore. There is so much bullshit that they don't even... Sorry, I'm looking for my phone charger. That they don't even try to pick up on. Like, they act like bullshit doesn't happen in that league with these trades. Like, what are we doing, bro? And they think I'm scarred from that Kareem Hunt trade. I've never been scarred about no fucking Kareem Hunt trade. It happened. The difference is, I don't accept every trade that comes to my doorstep, and I don't make every trade just throwing out 12 trades or getting 17 fucking waivers. Jesus. We're going to take a break right here. Not a commercial break. I'm just cutting the vid so I can plug in my phone so it doesn't stop my shit suddenly. I'll be right back. Thank you. Fuck that fantasy football league, man. I'm still going to pay the $400, and we're still going to ride. Be right back. And we are back, man. Listen, we're getting into this NBA shit, bro. Some boring-ass series going on, but I've been watching them so I can get some good content, whatever. I don't even know if it's good content. So we've gone through a couple games in these series since my last pod, right? Dropped last Wednesday. It's been almost a whole week. Jesus, I didn't even drink it. What the fuck is happening? Been almost a whole week since I recorded last, right? And just the Suns look like it's going to be a really fun collision course in the finals. So that's what makes me happy. But these fucking conference finals have been a struggle. Last game, I got some stats. Hold on. It's on my phone, so I had to get my phone charger. Let's go to my notes here. Last game, okay, with the Clippers and the Suns. Did you think it was a good game? These refs are trying to ruin shit, but they've made new rules now. They want perfection, right? No human error. We want everything right, but they don't review it for the Clippers when it obviously goes off Campaign's hand, just like the play. I think it was on Devin Booker the previous game, right? And they go review it, and they do it. They gave it back to the Clippers, but in this game, they didn't review the one on Campaign. Thought it was very stupid. Very, very stupid because that's Clippers ball. But another stat is funny as fuck. Clippers were 0 for 10 on field goals that would have had them in the lead. Paul George, that's not his name. What do we call him here? Which nickname do you want, right? Green Leg George, Pissy P, Playoff Piss. Which one do you want? He's missing free throws. And by the way, we can blame the refs or whatever you want to do. But did y'all know this, that the Clippers they had the highest free throw percentage of all time by a single team? Did y'all know that? They shot under 70% 2 nights ago. That's when it was. 2 nights ago? Well, when this comes out, 3. They shot under 70%, and they lost by, 4, I believe? And you can blame the refs all you want, but fuck, man. You're playing like shit. The second half was one of the worst halves of the whole game. Was trash. I'm sorry. It's like, oh, it's close, but I could have not watched that game for half of it, and I wouldn't have seen a made basket. Listen to this shit. 84 points is the lowest point total in a win this year in the whole NBA season. Wild. I just saw that on Twitter. I know. I'm over here doing research on it. I did research on this. Suns went 0 for 9 from 3 in the second half and shot 24% the whole second half. And if you're the Clippers, you really have to look yourself in the mirror and see how much of a missed opportunity this is, even with Kawhi out. Devin Booker is 18 for 59 the last 3 games. What? Shooting in the 30s, close to? Well, I guess that's it's in the 30s. And you can't take advantage of that? I honestly don't understand it. I don't know how you can blame it on Kawhi's injury. I would too. Obviously, they missed Kawhi's on the top 5, 7 players in the world. Duh. But I'm saying without him, to me, they should be winning this series. No Chris Paul for 2 games. Devin Booker plays like shit. 3 straight games. You give up an alley-oop. Wait, am I tripping? Was it 2 games? I'm fucking tripping. Anyways, because that's when they got the game-winning yak, right? Game 2? Game 1? It was game 3? It was game 3 because they've rattled off 2 in a row. That's right. I keep thinking it's 3-0. Sorry, guys. I'm over here. I could still go back to the fantasy shit. If you want me to be real, I could go back to the fantasy shit, but I'm not going. Boogeyman's looking at me, bro. Nah, I'm not playing those games. Not playing those games with the closet door. Next thing you know, somebody pops up out of it. Anyways, this has to be a lost opportunity for the Clippers here. The Suns, who have been, in my personal opinion, the best team in basketball, considering the Nets were hurt. They did not have their 3 stars the whole year. I think they played, 8 games together, 9 games, something like that together in total, if that. Lakers were hurt. I think they're better than the Jazz. I think they were better than the Bucks throughout this whole season. If you don't forget, the Bucks really didn't get going until after All-Star break. So they've been, to me, the best team in basketball. And you have their best player, who is Devin Booker, playing like shit. Their leader's out for 2 games, and you can't get it done? I'm still caught up on when that DeAndre Ayton shot happened. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to look it up. Why is my Wi-Fi not on? You know what? This is beside the point. DeAndre, you see, guys, I'm a normal guy. I mean, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. DeAndre Ayton buzzer beater. I got to see this. Sorry. It's on LTE, of course. God, you go over that data limit. You get it. Do y'all pay y'all's own phone bill still? Not yet. I truly believe parents owe you a phone bill till the day you die. That's just my humble, gracious opinion. And now it's not loading. It's not. Anyways, let's move on, okay? Now, like I said, I still have the Suns in 6, even though it's looking 5. I just bet them money line. So the only thing that's keeping me watching these games, if I'm being blunt, is me gambling on them. These series have been rough to watch. These conference final series have been trash. Once again, Paul George just, his stats really have never been horrendous in the playoffs, as in total, But I think that when you nitpick players, you can't just look at their overall stats, You have to look at certain moments. Him missing clutch free throws in back-to-back games, it's not a good look, man. It was game 3. The buzzer beater was game 3. Had to be. Yeah, because the Clippers won game 2. Okay, I'm tripping. And game 1 was fantastic. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. Fuck it. I'm right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he just ain't built for the moments like that, man. And hot take incoming. I don't think he's a number 2 on a championship team. Would I be saying that if Kawhi was healthy? I don't know. But the reason I have never picked the Clippers to win a championship, and I still won't, is because Paul George is on their team. I've seen him. People are acting like that whole way off P thing has been like that just for the Clippers. No, man. Y'all got to go. And it kind of started with Joe Ingles. It was before that. 2 years before that, he took LeBron 7. Was that 2013? Yeah, I believe so. And then after that, he hasn't really done shit. Was that 2013 or 12? Anyways, after that, he hasn't been a great playoff performer. Once again, his stats are incredible. When those big moments come, he shrinks. And I don't think Paul George is bad at basketball. There's no way you can. If you take out Clutch Gene, he's probably a top 12, 15 player. He can do literally everything. He's a good playmaker, can shoot the lights out, middies, threes. Still somehow with after breaking his leg, he dunks on people. He fucking finishes at the rim. He's incredible. He's an amazing defender. Just not built for the big moments, and that's why I guess Kawhi's needed, So I think Kawhi goes and closes some of these games out. But you can't play the what-if game. We're looking at what we're looking at. It's obviously over. The series is over. Tyronn Lue has done all he can do. Zubac is out for Game 5, and yikey, yikes. Yikey, yikes. So that's what that is. And, yeah, man. Let's get into this Bucks and Hawks series. I'm going to stop this video. Once again, I'm trying to do my thing. Stop this video. We're going to get in the Bucks and Hawks. And then I'm going to talk about the Dame Lillard situation because I think it's pretty fucking important that one of the best players in the world is – I'll just get into it. He's asking for it. I think he's going to ask out. We're going to see, though, man. We're going to see. Okay, Bucks and Hawks, man. Listen, this series is garbage. To win, Trae Young has to put up 50. It's horrible. Once again, I told y'all Chris Middleton is baby Kevin Durant, and he's a homeless baby. He's a crack baby. He's a crack era's baby, Kevin Durant. That's who Chris Middleton is. He goes through the first 3 quarters, puts up 18 points. Comes out the fourth quarter, puts up 20 in a single quarter. He had 20 points in the fourth. The Hawks had 17 in the fourth. It was incredible. It was incredible to watch. When he gets hot, he's one of the best players in the league. He has that Klay Thompson thing where consistently he's going to be a pretty damn good player, right? And I think Klay Thompson is better than him when healthy. I don't think he'll ever be better than him again. I hate to say it. Klay was the only Warrior I absolutely loved. And then I fell in love with Steph Curry again this year. I did. and truly got to appreciate him. And I've always appreciated his greatness. I don't know why that came out like a shout. I truly appreciate it. But I truly appreciate his greatness overall anyways. But it just made it so crazy. Like, honestly, man. And I'm not even going to bring up LeBron here. That may have been the worst roster to ever even have a chance at the playoffs. I mean, LeBron took a really bad roster to the finals. I said, I'm not going to bring him up. But that just shows Steph Curry's greatness. That team is a G League team. That team is trash. Mostly with James Wiseman out. And I think James Wiseman's going to be a good player. Do I think they could make a move with him? And don't they have the 7? I think they have the 7 overall pick as well. Yes. I think you could bundle Andrew Wiggins and the 7 or James Wiseman in the 7 for a really fucking good player, man. James Wiseman came out of a class, goes second, played very well with while he played. He played very well before getting hurt, and I think he made them a better team than what they were. Obviously, had no talent, but yeah, I think a lot of teams probably are very high on James Wiseman still. He had a wrist injury. It's not. Didn't he break his wrist? I believe so. It's not a knee. It's not an ankle. It's nothing like that. It's just a wrist. So he could be a moving piece in the offseason to be nice to see. But the Bucks and the Hawks, there's really not much to talk about here. I think we see who's the more dominant team, right? I mean, this series is over. We can say it. It's okay to say it, man. We don't have to sit here and be a fake, like, optimist. Like, no, but Trey can. No, man. The Bucks have shown we are better than you, a lot better. Because, one, the Hawks aren't even close to them defensively. And Giannis there's nobody on that court that can guard him. You know, I saw some possessions with Capella on him. And Giannis is too quick for him. John Collins is too small for him, had him in foul trouble. Just a lot of things. And then Trae Young hurts his ankle stepping on the ref's foot. I mean, Jesus Christ. With those fucking polio braces he had on his fucking ankles. God, how do you roll your ankle, bro? He literally had a peg foot. He has prosthetics, and he rolled his fucking ankle, bro. I don't understand. I don't know how he did it, but, you know, expect the unexpected, right? Where amazing happens. Wasn't that the slogan back in the day with the NBA? Where amazing happens. Prosthetic rolled ankles. I mean, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that series is straight toast. That series is over to me. The only adjustments I can see is brutally murder one of the Bucks' best players. Jesus Christ. It's getting morbid. Yeah, I don't see a way that the Hawks can win the series. If you're depending on one guy to do all that, I think I saw this recently. Was it the Mavericks? Was it Luka? Yeah, bro. You're going to win 2 games. Maybe. Luka's so great. He had us convinced the Clippers were done. That's how amazing Luka is. Luka's so amazing that the Clippers were getting relocated to fucking Seattle. The duo's over. Kawhi's going to Miami. He's leaving. Paul George is going to get stuck in Washington for Bradley Beal. Wild shit, right? That's what Luka had us thinking. Trey's just got us going, that was an amazing game. And honestly, like, it's actually cool to see this, right? No LeBron in these conference finals, which I'd rather have LeBron competing for a title, obviously. Duh. I'm a LeBron fan. Rather have Jimmy. What is happening? Is this thing still on? This thing still just got an Adobe alert. Remind me later. I have to go back. It went out. I have to see the frustration on my face when that happened. That is so funny. Goddamn. Creating content is not an easy game, man. It's not an easy game with technology. Like I said, it's like Floyd. You win a couple rounds, you think you won the fight. You never win the fight, buddy. Technology's undefeated, motherfucker. And that's why Steve Ballmer, talking about technology, that dude, I actually love him, how passionate he is about his team. So funny how passionate he is. Just a random thought. But the Bucks, man, it's just one of those times where you go, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They got the best player on the court. They got the third best player on the court. They got the fourth best player on the court. You're not going to beat them. And they aren't just the third and fourth best players on the court. They are the third and fourth best players on the court that can be the best player on the court. Jrue Holiday can be, the second best player, but Jrue Holiday can be the second best player on the court. Chris Middleton was the best player on the floor yesterday. And it's so funny. It's just this thing, like I said, with Luka. We're so used to, and LeBron and all the great players. We're so used to Giannis already, man. We're just so used to this guy. Well, Giannis, he had his 34 and 16. Giannis did his thing. Like, that's really how Giannis is talked about. Giannis did his thing. What? He's one of 5 players to have 10 plus 30 and 10 games in the playoffs ever. And they're all centers. And he's averaging 5 assists with it. Like, we're looking, if he wins a title, look at me in my eyes when I tell you this. Hear me through your headphones and imagine me in front of you. Just don't close your eyes. If he wins a title, he solidifies himself as a top 15 player of all time. What? With one? Yes, with one. Now, this is why, man. These titles are looked at different. That's why I said KD fucked his legacy. And a lot of people disagree with that. He did not fuck his legacy that he can't be a top 10 player ever, right? He fucked his legacy because he put a barrier. He put an imaginary force field of where his ranking can be. No one will ever put KD in their top 5. Ever. If you do the caveat of what I've seen, of course. No one will ever put KD in their top 5 because of how he handled shit. If he gets one in OKC, his rankings are unlimited. And I know that sounds nuts, but real basketball heads know how this works. Real sports heads know how that works. And Giannis, just the I don't have the exact list. I know it's short. To have multiple MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, and a Finals MVP is unheard of. Not a lot of people have it. It's a list without LeBron. I would imagine the list goes Kawhi, Michael Jordan, and if it happens, Giannis, Kareem. There's no way Kareem got Defensive Player of the Year, right? I mean, no way. No way he did. I can't think of anybody else. I mean, maybe back in the olden days, but, I mean, that's pretty far back. I can't think of one. Tim Duncan. I don't know if he ever got Defensive Player of the Year, but that would make sense if he's on the list. Oh, Hakeem Olajuwon. Maybe. I'm just going off random thoughts in my head. Maybe that's the list. Maybe if I Googled it, that would be the list. And you have to look into the future too when you say shit like that, like what I just said. Do you think Giannis? Okay, let's say Giannis doesn't get any better. Just doesn't get better, right? No better at all. Well, if he doesn't get any better, he's going to average at bare minimum. I'm talking about when he's 36, he's going to average 24. 24, 26. I mean, this dude's a walking 30, 12, and 6. And arguably the best defender on the fucking planet. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not looking at it right now because it ain't the finals yet. Trae Young could go for 53 straight games. I don't know. Because Trae Young's been doing some wild shit. Like going 4 for 22 and Ben Simmons choking a series. Wild. He's been doing wild shit. Oh, it's always fun to take shots at Philly fans. Took a shot at Jimmy. Once again, you haven't reached further than him in the playoffs yet. But yeah, that series is over. To me, it is. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but it is to me. I think the Clipper series is over. So to me, we're going to have a Bucks and Suns finals, and I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait for Devin Booker to see, like, Giannis on him at some point, you know? Or Drew Holiday. And that would be an awesome matchup, right? Two of, to me, let me just say my opinion, the two best defensive point guards I have personally ever seen in my life. Ever seen. Drew Holiday and Chris Paul going at each other. Two well-respected players who can score, defend, all that. It'd be beautiful to see. Robin Lopez and DeAndre Ayton. Oh. Chris Middleton and Devin Booker matched up. Jay Crowder and Giannis. We saw what Jay Crowder did to Giannis with the Heat. It was nice. I mean, you just got all these people. Mikal Bridges. Who's the other guy that starts for them? Fuck, Giannis. Fuck it, who cares? Yeah, it's PJ Tucker. Jesus Christ, what a fucking series. God, can't wait for it because it's over. It's fucking over. It's over, man. So that's going to be fun. And to wrap the pod up, man, here we go. Dame Dollar apparently has issues with the coaching selection and how they went about it. Now to Dame Dollar, man, listen. Wow. I mean, this is kind of shocking to me. He wanted Jason Kidd, right? And Jason Kidd declines. I'm thinking in my head, Jason Kidd's going to stay with the Lakers and try to pursue Dame Lillard. Oh, and these reports, this is a big deal. So Chris Haynes and Dame Lillard, I saw a tweet from Dragonfly Jones, one of the best followers on Twitter, hilarious guy, that Chris Haynes is his dude, right? So I did some random research. Yeah, Dame Lillard is the source of that rumor. Dame Lillard and him have a very close, I'm talking about very close relationship. Like friends, not reporter-athlete friends, like real human being. We go out together. We go to dinner together. So that source is probably Dame or his agent or like his brother. I'm not joking. And Chris Haynes has all these. If you go look up Chris Haynes, Dame Lillard, if you get past all the news shit, right, you just see all these past reports. Dame Lillard this, Dame Lillard that, Chris Haynes, Dame Lillard this, Dame Lillard that, all from the same source. It's very weird when an individual player has the same source. I've never seen it like this. Never seen it. Like, you don't see a source from LeBron. LeBron's like, yo, this team fucking sucks and we need to trade. He's like, I'm just going to say it. Or, like, it's like the source is Rich Paul, his agent. You know what I mean? They'll just say my name. I don't care. Say my name, say my name. But, yeah, I think there's a lot of suitors for him. The thing is, everybody wants Dame, but you got to look at who actually has assets. Right? The Raptors will always have assets. The Heat have assets as well. Shit. The Mavericks don't have the assets to trade for him. They just don't. They just don't. Right? There's few teams. The Warriors have the assets to trade for him. That's interesting. You have to give up a big contract for him, obviously. That's why I think you could pair Wiggins with Wiseman, and I think it would be worth it. I think if you give Wiggins and Wiseman for Dame, you get Dame, Steph, Clay, Dre on the same team. Fam. Could you imagine being a defense and like you just got done guarding Steph Curry and he goes to the bench? You get to take a deep breath just to guard Dame Lillard. That would be fucking horrible, man. Horrible. I think it's going to be interesting to see where he goes as a possibility. You know, like, even I think the Clippers have a chance to get him. Anybody with a max contract player and a couple good pieces, obviously Reggie Jackson's going to get a bag. You could sign and trade that motherfucker with him. You get what I'm saying? So there's all these little pieces. That's why I think the Lakers have no chance to get him. The Lakers have no chance to get Dame Lillard until it goes into, and when I say that, I keep going back to this Harden thing. When you force your way out, they're gonna deal you regardless. I mean, look at the value they got. They got none. They got nothing for him. They're fucking Kelly Olynyk, Kelly Bird, baby. That's who they got. So when you force your way out of town, I guess anything is possible, right? I guess anything's fucking possible when you force your way out of town. But if we're doing the contract match game, it's gonna be very hard. And I don't see Portland. This is a organization. Remember, when they decided to build around Dame, they blew the whole thing up. Nick Batum gone, LaMarcus Aldridge gone. All them were gone. All those starters were basically gone. It was him and CJ. I don't see how they move on from Dame and not CJ. Or how CJ doesn't see Dame go and go, well, I'm out too. Does that make sense? I don't see how they don't leave together. Some way, somehow. I just don't see it going down that way. And they don't really coexist that well. They don't. I've never seen them both. I've watched the fucking Trailblazers a long time this year. A long time this year. And they've been in the playoffs a lot. I never see a game where Dame has 40 and CJ has 30. And I know your two players aren't supposed to combine for 70, but it's going to happen once in a lifetime. If I was to look up how many times they combine for 60, I bet it's lower than you think. I bet in their whole time together, this is a wild prediction, I bet it's less than 20 times. And I'll post it on the screen if I can. Combined for 60. Two guys who average Dame 30 and CJ 20-something, anything over 22 in his sleep as a secondary guy. They should at least, like if I did 50, it's kind of rigged. But to combine for 60, that shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard to me. But, that's just my thoughts. And Friday, maybe Saturday I'll pull it out. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give a couple teams kind of off-season, not preview, but off-season wants, needs, all that shit. So I've been doing some research on it and, like, who has expiring contracts, all that bullshit. Like, the Heat have $70 million in expiring contracts. That's why anything is possible with this Heat team coming into the offseason. So it's going to be interesting. But for this episode, man, episode 62 is a wrap, bruh. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. I love everybody listening. Shout out Taji. Some of his words on Twitter keep me going. And not that I need extra motivation, but it gets me hype to do the pod still, man. So thank you to him. Shouts out to Jay Tots on Twitch. Capital J, capital T-A-T-S, God Call of Duty player. But for now, the pod go is out. Dude.